musical.
Big the musical.
There's some big fans in the house. Big fans. I just took your line. Go ahead.
Big the musical was based on the 1988 Tom Hanks film of the same name. And Maltby and Shia wrote the score. John Weidman the book, and Mike Ockrent and Susan Stroman did the direction and choreography. And Stroman, there's Stro.
She's not, I just want to say her name,
no,
okay. Sorry.
Anyway, an all-star team in '96, producers were excited to give audiences who had just responded to Beauty and the Beast a new family musical of substance. And the story was about young Josh, who makes a wish to be big and wakes up the next morning in an adult body.
The musical was considered a big deal from the beginning. There's the marquee at the Schubert. In fact, there was a journalist who followed the show from its pre-Broadway run onwards and wrote an entire book about the exploits called Making It Big, The Diary of a Broadway Musical. After a slightly rough out-of-town tryout period, the musical landed at the Schubert and garnered a positive New York Times review. There's Daniel Jenkins, he's very happy about the positive review.
Reviews pointed to standout performances by Patrick Levis as young Josh and pint-sized Brett Tabasel, who appears as Billy.
Brett Tabasel in the house.
He's somewhere in the house, I think.
He is.
Billy, young Josh's somewhat more sophisticated young friend. And inside Mr. Tabasel, there's an impatient stand-up comic waiting to cut loose.
There's the front page of the entertainment section of the Post, featuring Brett Tabasel on his dressing room balcony at Schubert. That was cool. The kids got a lot of attention around town, indeed. There's the kids, there's Spencer Lick, which is awesome. There's kids from Big. Here you go. I love this. It seems to be Patrick Levis and Brett Tabasel's dressing room sign, and they've drawn the other adults in the production, including, oh, you can't see, I'm blocking John Weidman, but it's really good. It's really good illustration.
And Mike Ockrent.
Yes, that joke will make sense later. In a Playbill online interview, the 13-year-old Tony nominee Brett Tabasel was asked, "What do you like to do in your spare time when you're not in your Broadway musical?" His answer, "My sole purpose in life is to listen to the Red Hot Chili Peppers, go to the movies, and date girls."
Not much has changed.
And there he is riding his skateboard in Schubert Alley, which is awesome.
I love that. It's great. And folks in the theater industry were slightly grumbly about what they felt was the crass commercialism of the show. And Big had a partnership with FAO Schwartz that involved a lot of blatant promotion. And however, those within the production didn't seem to think this was a big deal. The great splashy sequence of the movie and the musical where Chopsticks is dancing on the giant keyboard happened at FAO Schwartz in the film, so why not, right? I kind of agree with that. And they were also dealing with the recent well-loved movie, who many were coming in with preconceived notions of what it should be like.
When the producers of Big, this is fascinating, I love this. When the producers of Big were deciding when in the season to open the show, they knew that opening in the fall would make them less dependent on the Tony wins. But opening in the spring meant that they could at least avoid opening at the same time as the two most awaited new musicals of the 1996 season, Julie Andrews and Victor Victoria, and Tommy Tune and Busker Alla. Making your decisions based on that.
Yeah. So when Tony nominations came out, Big was snubbed for Best Musical. Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
And the cover of the Post ran a headline called Tony Baloney. The producers felt that no nomination for Best Musical decimated the chances that the show had for building an audience. And neither huge musical that the producers of Big had worried about competition from had been nominated either.
The nominees were a little show that had suddenly transferred from downtown that swooped in. It was called Rent. Yeah, I'm ready for it? Oh, I put a slide ahead. Oops. Okay. The others were the very alternative Bring in the Noise, Bring in the Funk, and two short-lived shows that had already closed. This was the season that Broadway went crazy over the surprise hit Rent. And Big was perceived as old-fashioned by comparison, in the same way that Henry Sweet Henry was perceived after Hair came out. Hence the analogy, which was premature. But look at that. That slide took a lot of work.
That was really clever, Jen. I give you props for that. Clap for that. Big the Musical has a score that is beloved by many, including some songs like Dancing All the Time, Coffee Black, Stop Time, and Cross the Line. Its cast included Krista Moore, Barbara Walsh, John Cipher, and Daniel Jenkins, and understudying Daniel Jenkins as the adult Josh was a great actor named Frank Lasnik.
Frank actually went on for 3 days of rehearsal as adult Josh when Jenkins was injured. And when he went on as himself, he played a variety of roles, including the giant dancing bear. Yeah.